Asurada raid is fairly simple. Bring in at a minimum 1 attacker and 2 benedictions. The recommended team comp is 3 attackers, 4 benediction, and 1 tank. When the raid begins, let your tank grab Asurada's attention and bring him to the corner near spawn. Here's how this raid works. Everyone's job is to avoid the fire that spawns on the ground during this fight. The fire does 15% of a player's max HP and builds up fire stacks. You can find these fire stacks in your buff bar at the bottom. At 10 stacks, you explode and need constant healing for 15 seconds. This explosion causes any teammates hit by it to take constant damage, and it will continue to stack with other explosions. This is by far the biggest cause of failure for this raid. So the rule you want to tell all your teammates every time is to stay out of the fire. Be mindful of your positioning because the fire will spawn under your team every now and then. Anything that looks like a circle of flames counts as the fire. This is what you have to look out for. Everybody needs to avoid this at all costs. That's rule number 1. Next up, these are the raid mechanics. 3 possible symbols can spawn over your head during the fight. A sword icon over your head, I call it a candle. This means the player will drop a small fire circle. You want to stay away from your teammates when you are dropping this, so if you have the symbol, move away, drop that small circle, and then get back into the fight. Otherwise, you're going to be griefing your teammates. A poo icon, or otherwise a flame symbol, will always spawn when clones appear. These happen to be about a minute apart from the first clone, and it keeps, it's about a minute or so. Anyways, it happens at fixed intervals. People with this symbol do more damage to the clones. Everybody should be working together to clear the clones as soon as possible so you can do proper DPS. Otherwise, the boss is going to heal a massive amount of health and you have probably ruined your run. So rule number 2, always defeat the clones. Lastly, at certain HP thresholds, the boss will summon twin swords on someone's head. Get some healers to help out whoever has twin swords. The twin sword user must build 10 stacks of fire to create an explosion. If it hits the boss is no longer invulnerable. This is the only time you'll want to have someone enter the fire. You need healers to help out because they're going to die without the healing. You can actually be at the edge of the flame. You don't have to be in the big middle of the circle or something. Just be enough to be building fire stacks. Teammates can jump over this explosion, so keep an eye out for it, call it out, and then jump over it. Rule number 3 is that the twin sword user must cause an explosion. This happens at certain HP thresholds of the fight, and your team needs to be ready for it. Healers have to be at the ready. If you can do all those things, this raid is an easy clear. Things to note, the reason we choose this corner is because the big circle is less likely to be here, and because we have a happy place. This cabinet offers immunity to fire stack building most of the time depending on your positioning. The tank will want to be here as much as possible, but be sure to touch the ground every 15 seconds or so to keep the boss here. If not, the boss will TP back to mid, so the tank just needs to go onto the ground so the boss comes back to the happy place. Also, don't use slows, rift, or harden this fight with exception to a few moments. Like after the boss does both his teleport moves, or after clones are dead, are usually safe to do rift. If you do it, you will bug the boss's clones to where they take like no damage at all, and you'll probably fail your run. So wait for Asurada to take explosion damage from the clone phase before you start using hardened rift. I recommend waiting for him to use his teleport moves so he stands still for more time. Lastly, if you have comms and can talk with other players, if someone has 8 or 9 stacks of fire, you can do a controlled explosion. Your teammates want to know when you cause it, so you can jump over it. I hope this helps. Good luck on those raid clears.